Ahoy me matey, shiver me timbers, walk the plank, and something else pirate related. Arrgh. God, that's fun to do. Yes, this week we're heading out onto the 7 seas with one of the best pirate shows there is, Black Sails. A show that features so much pirate shenanigans that you'll forget you're not actually a pirate. Oof, that was an embarrassing week for me. And a show that features so many shots of, fun bags, love pillows, coconuts, Yorkshire puddings, Brad Pitts, chips and dips, juicy jugs. It puts Game of Thrones to shame. And now me. So mateys, if ye have questions like, how accurate are some of the elements in the show to real life history? What are some of the incredible techniques used to bring these ships in the show to life? And will I be talking in a pirate voice this whole episode? Well, ye landlubber, the answer to that be, fuck no, that's way too difficult. You kidding me? Anyway, the rest we've got the answers for you. Oh, would you look at that? It's number 1. So, Black Sails is a historical adventure TV show. The story is set during the golden age of piracy and follows several characters revolving around the island of New Providence and the Spanish treasure originally aboard the Argghhh. The story is also a prequel to Robert Louis Stevenson's novel Treasure Island and even features some characters from that original novel, including Billy Bones, Captain Flint, and of course Long John Silver. The show was created for Starz, but the show actually debuted online for free here on YouTube and other various streaming platforms and video on demand services on January the 18th, 2014. Black Sails lasted for 4 seasons with a collective 38 episodes. Number 2. Although Black Sails is a prequel to the fictional story of Treasure Island, some of the pirate characters featured in this show are based on actual real-life pirates. These include Captain Charles Vane, Jack Rackham, Anne Bonny, and Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard. In real life, Anne Bonny and Jack Rackham operated between the years of 1718 and 1720, while Captain Vane operated between the years of 1716 and 1721, and Edward Teach apparently operated between the years of 1716 and 1718. Another real life character is that of Benjamin Hornigold, who was indeed a former pirate and later pirate hunter. Hornigold was a pivotal figure in the story of the Caribbean pirates. He taught pirating to some of the most famous pirates ever, including that of Blackbeard, and his influence shaped the careers of dozens of pirate ships and over 1,000 individual pirates. He could have been a pirate king of sorts, but his loyalty to England prevented him from attacking English ships, which reduced his popularity with the pirates. Ooh, it's number 3. Some of the pirates aren't the only things taken from history for this show. For example, the island of New Providence was indeed a real pirate hideout. The island became famous for being a place where criminals would often settle or visit. New Providence housed hundreds of criminals. This quickly became a real problem for both the British and the Spanish, as their ships would often fall victim to piracy if they sailed too near the island, and that most of the pirates responsible for attacking their vessels would often return to this island. This caused the Spanish to launch a military strike against New Providence, which destroyed most of the infrastructure on the island. However, this did not stop those cheeky chaps, as New Providence was quickly resettled by pirates, and it took British royalty offering all pirates an official pardon in 1720 to finally solve the problem. It's number 4. The theme song for the opening titles of the show was created by Bear McCreary. Yep, that's right, his name really is Bear. McCreary was the composer on both Battlestar Galactica and The Walking Dead. The sea shanty-like song was partly created using an instrument called a hurdy-gurdy. The hurdy-gurdy is a bowed-stringed instrument, like a violin, but the bow is a rosin wooden wheel that is turned by a crank. There can be anywhere from 3 to 6 strings, with some of the strings acting as drone strings. That is what makes the buzzing sound. The hurdy-gurdy dates as far back as the Middle Ages, but was commonly used during the era that Black Sails is set. I got 5 on it. Oh, copyright strike. Black Sails features a lot of impressive sets, but none of them come close to the sets built for these ships in this show. It has been reported that it took over 300 workers and around 5 months to construct just one ship. Most of these ships were then placed within an enormous tank filled with water, which could fit a ship 40 meters in length and was able to house a wave machine to help create the motion of the sea. Now, I'm not going to say motion of the ocean, alright? The tank was capable of holding 5 million liters of water. That's one hell of a pee break. The tank was also equipped with specialized heavy-duty winches and built-in anchors, which enabled it to move ships from one end to the other. Oh, don't believe it, it's number 6. In the show, we hear about Jack Rackham's obsession with getting his flag just right. In reality, Jack Rackham was the first to design and even sport the skull on a black flag, also known as the Jolly Roger. Number 7, baby. Number 7. Black Sails took a considerable amount of effort, time and manpower to create. For example, the show featured over 1,000 extras, and the port of Nassau took roughly 4 months and nearly 600 people to create. All the costumes and accessories for the characters were handmade, and the crew managed to get their hands on a blueprint for an old 18th century ship, allowing them to build the ships for the show as accurately as they could. You wanna know a secret? It's number 8. As stated earlier, the show features some pirate characters that actually were active back in the golden age of piracy. One such man is Captain Vane, but while Charles Vane was a real-life pirate, his career on TV is actually longer than his actual piracy career. Vane did use a fire ship to escape a harbour and nearly sank 2 Royal Navy vessels. He and Jack Rackham were shipmates, but Rackham took over Vane's ship when the crew voted him out. He was hanged at Port Royal, but only after a year in jail. Good heavens, number 9. Something else we talked about earlier was the creation of the ships, but what we didn't mention was to bring these ships to life, a little extra was needed. That, of course, like most things in film and television these days, was visual effects, mostly used for wide shots or just general shots of the ships sailing across the ocean or even caught in storms. CGI and various other visual effects were used to create the vast oceans, lighting, rain, some of the sails blown in the wind and other aspects of the environment. When all put together, they help create a seamless environment on the ocean. I say, old chap, it's number 10. An interesting point about Black Sails compared to other shows or films portraying pirate characters is that our pirate characters here are not presented as good guys. Instead, most are presented as either morally grey or just have a love for anarchy. While the show does give them a goal to strive for and fight for, it still does not shy away from presenting these characters as criminals, thieves and killers, something most films and TV shows tend to tread lightly on or outright ignore completely. Likewise, the British Empire in this show is not presented as a two-dimensional evil empire. However, the show does make a point to highlight that although the empire might not be as bad as this one here, it still is a ruthless entity at times and uses its incredible influence and power into bullying groups or individuals into serving their needs. Well, there you go, 10 facts about Black Sails. Darr! God, I love doing that. So what do you think about this show? Are you a fan? And what other pirate shows or films can you recommend? Tell us or be forced to walk the plank, me matey. And yes, before anyone puts it up, I am disqualifying Pirates of the Caribbean, all of them, because that's too easy. And if you like this and you want to see more, then why not check out our other Film Facts videos? They cover both film and TV. And if you'd like to support the channel, then you can do by either liking the video, sharing it, or even subscribing and hitting the bell thingy to stay notified on all our future videos. We have a bunch of ideas for new shows for this channel, so now is a great time to jump on board by subscribing. But I thank you for watching. Darr.